guys. Answer 06 is about to drop a bomb on Austin St. John using this link. What page?
Uh, it should be like midway through. You'll see where it says type 1 diabetes on it.
Hold on. Control F. Type TYPE. Let's see. Here we go. Is this it?
Yeah.
Specific medical conditions, diabetes, type 1 or 2. Type 1 diabetes or insulin requiring type 2 diabetes. Individualized assessment required. What does that mean?
Basically, you're gonna have to go through a medical screening, right? And since Geiger claimed that he had a episode where he was passed out in the backyard and the dog was licking his finger to keep him alive, basically says that he doesn't have the ability to sustain his sugar levels at a certain point where he would not pass out. So it would make him unfit to be a contractor for the DOD. So he would never went to Iraq or Kuwait and what have you.
But what about him saying he was living in Kuwait?
Not with the DOD.
Okay. All right.
He kept as a private civilian working with a private company, but not as a contractor underneath DOD payroll. Because they would not allow him to be there because it would be more of a liability.
Okay.
It would be the same medical standards that soldiers, special forces, which he claimed to be, which he's not, would have to go through to deploy. Those
I
are like medical criteria that is needed to go forward, to go overseas.
I am sure Austin St. John is going to say he never said he was in special forces and that geek culture is lying on him or
Yeah, he could.
misremembering.
And the only person that probably would believe him is Brent. So it is. The other issue was that the link.
Okay, hold on. Back to the link.
No, to the screenshot on the other screenshot I sent you.
All right.
If you look further down, I think it says around the time frame that he was allegedly there.
A completely random and useless fact turns out that Austin St. John, the original Red Ranger, was living in Kuwait right under our noses. He was working here as a medic for 4 years before recently returning back to the States. How did we miss that? There's no date on this other than the 2020, December 2024, right here.
The 2014?
Yeah, the 2014, sorry, 2014.
Okay. So I think, hold on a second.
So the 2010 to 2014, the 4 years while he was living there, what was going on in Kuwait? And I see we got people coming in and coming out.
I just sent you another screenshot. Sorry,
Okay.
I thought I had earlier. So that story that he bought out, that happened in Mosul, Iraq, and then I believe that happened in 2004. Geiger wasn't even there until 2007.
Okay, hold on. Whoa. Hold on. Let me get this straight. I got another screenshots that I gotta pull up. So you're questioning or inferring or suggesting
I'm flat out saying it. I'm
that.
not or suggesting. I'm flat out saying the facts.
All right, here's the other one. So 14 U.S. soldiers, 4 citizens, and 4 Iraqi soldiers allied with U.S. military were killed by a suicide bomber in a dining hall at Forward Operating Base next to the main U.S. Military airfield at Mosul. When did this take place?
If I'm not mistaken, 2007. No, 2004. And then he was there in 07. So how is that possible?
Okay, so his story of his base getting attacked is false.
No. No. And then in Kuwait, the only time that there was a base that felt any type of threat It was during the initial invasion when Saddam was shooting off Scuds into Kuwait to slow down the advance. So, mm, no.
So where the hell was he at for these 4 years if he wasn't in Kuwait or
And he was
uh
in Iraq.
he was in Iraq?
No, he was in Kuwait. That thing that happened in the dining facility happened in Iraq.
Oh, okay. So he was in Kuwait saying he
Mhm.
was in Iraq.
Yep, Spotman. He was in the nice oasis of Kuwait where it was very cush. And then
Ah.
I don't think that base is operational anymore. So he was at Ali Asaleen Air Base, Camp Arif John, and another one in Kuwait. I can't recall the third one, but I did research it. Like, no, stop the cap.
And this is something you're very passionate about. You've been passionate about this for years.
Yeah, I mean, after hearing some of the dumb stories, I have to be.
Okay. You know what? I'm wondering what's going to happen when this gets out. Will people start questioning it, or will people write you off as an anti Austin St. John fan because you're on this channel?
No, see, the funny thing was, prior to Tommy coming into the picture, I was a Jason fan.
Ah, but these are some compelling facts that you're presenting,
Yes.
and I'm sure
Oh,
he's going. I'm telling you, he's going to say I don't remember, or people are lying. It's going to be
yeah.
one or the other.
I really wish that this cat came up during his court appearance, because then if he had lied, he would have perjured himself.
Nah, I mean he wasn't on trial, but I mean he already lied about the government stuff. The I
Yeah,
think the biggest thing is the diabetes facts right here. You know, diabetes type 1 or type 2, individual assessment required, and if if he can't regulate, then how would he be over there? Like his whole past is like a mystery, man.
yeah.
It's all of what he said, not necessarily any proof to corroborate it outside of what he says. So,
And, and I did give him props because both his dad and his brother are warriors, just not him. He pretended to be one on a TV show.
and I wonder, with the addition of his mom, dad, and brother, like I think mom was a cop. Um, also, does that play a role in him trying to hype up his life more than what it really was? Because he never lived. He'll never live up to probably who his dad was. Couldn't walk a day in his brother's shoes and doesn't hold a candle to what mom was.
Yeah, let's do a hypothetical. So like, uh, since he has that medical condition, he could not enter any type of military service, right?
Right.
So he's always in the shadows, trying to live up to that legacy. And then where he fell short, he associated with Court Newman and those other people, and then tarnishes his name to the point where, like, if I was his brother, I wouldn't be able to associate with him because he's going to be a felon. The same way,
Mm.
like, to go to a con and get autographs and whatnot, I would have to bypass his booth. Same with Hector, would have to bypass his booth because I can't associate with felons.
Ah, very true.
And then to all my veteran friends out there that still holds a security clearance, do not sit there and purchase stuff or associate with him. Then you may jeopardize your security clearance. Just saying. That's one of the questions that on the questionnaire for the SF-86 saying, have you associated with felons or known felons? Don't
Ah,
lie on that. I would stay away from them. Just saying. Keep your security clearance and integrity in check.
I like it. Giving y'all some real game. Giving y'all some real game. Any final words, answer? I'm clipping this just so you know. It's going
Flip, flip it.
to. This will be
Brent,
out there.
Brent, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Army, you're welcome. We're getting a little detox. So uh, when he comes back on April 21st, y'all can vote again. I'll be on standby.
Ooh. All right. Well, there is answer '06. Everybody. Thank you.
Have a good night, everyone.
All right. Peace. Clip.